That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird? That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 196 of Camp Strange. I'm your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, James Earl Bones.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and accidents. But before we do, we got to catch up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And David, I don't know if you have seen this. I thought it was more of like a niche news article.
Okay.
And then I started seeing it everywhere.
Yeah.
And I thought it was so funny. RFK Jr. says doctors found a dead worm in his brain. Did you know about this?
I actually didn't know about this. Boy.
Did the worm eat that part of your brain where you found out about it? I wanted to do my weekend update joke on this and be like, RFK Jr. says doctors found dead worm in his brain. His uncle says, that's all they found. Or, God, the joke wasn't fucking good.
You butchered it.
I'm trying to, his uncle says, only a worm? I don't know. Bullet, and he got assassinated, shot in the head.
Oh, we're talking about Junior, right?
Yeah, no, this is RFK. This is Robert F. Kennedy, so it's RFK Jr. So it's Bobby Kennedy, who's JFK's brother. It's his kid.
It's too much. They're all dead. Let's move on.
Or have their brain eaten by worms.
Yeah. What type of worm is it? Because I have a feeling I know what type of worm it is.
It was a parasite. I didn't.
Most of them are.
I actually did. I surprisingly didn't do the whole article on this one because I thought that it wasn't like very. I was like, what the fuck is this? But it says the doctor believed that the abnormalities seen on his scans was caused by a worm that got into his brain and ate a portion of it and then died. I think it was some kind of parasite. I don't know how he fucking got it, but everybody's like, "Oh, I think this like kind of got blasted out there because of the election coming up, and like Democrats and Republicans are afraid because he's running as an independent, and they don't want him taking votes away from either side. So they're basically being like, if you elect him, he has worm brain."
So I'm gonna draw some lines here, some connections. I have a friend who is a big supporter of him, who also told me that he gave himself hookworms on purpose.
What is a hookworm?
It's a parasite.
Why did he do that?
So, and I looked it up, and he's not incorrect on this.
And just so everybody knows, that's not why he sounds like this when he talks. It's not because of the worms.
So,
do you think he's just a bunch of worms in a man suit?
It might be. But I guess I believe it's hookworm. I could be off on that one. I believe it's hookworm that they've found that the hookworm, if you give yourself a small amount of hookworm.
Nobody do this. Whatever David's about.
Do
to
your
say.
research. I'm not worming myself. I am on my dewormer, but apparently it helps with like allergies. You don't have to take allergy medicine.
What?
And there's like a handful of benefits. It makes you slightly anemic, but
what is this?
But it helps with like asthma and allergies.
I would literally have asthma, allergies, arthritis, rosacea over having any kind of worms inside my fucking body.
You don't know they're there. They're microscopic.
I would know. I get freaked out when I think of how my digestive system works on its own.
You would.
I don't. That's like a big worm. That's one big worm, and it freaks me out enough.
That was like a mile long.
Don't even get me started on my penis. I can't even look at the thing.
I gotta sit when I pee because I will not touch or look at it.
the worm it haunts me, it talks to me in my sleep.
Yeah, and apparently they only live for like 4 years. So then when they die, you go and you get more. Symbiotic relationship.
So I gotta. So I don't think it's symbiotic.
Yeah,
at all.
that didn't sound right.
It sounds like you eat a bunch of worms and then you just shit them out in 4 years and they die and they're like,
Yeah.
"What just happened?"
Well, that's how you get them. You get them out of shit.
What?
Yeah, he told me.
What is a hookworm?
He told me that you basically have someone who has the parasite shit in a bucket.
What?
And then you cover the shit with gravel, and over time the worms will surface, and then you nab them up, and then you put them in a small like a hollow pill, and then you eat the pill. Is
any of this real?
I swear to God, this is all real.
So you gonna say, instead of saying Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has brain worm on his brain,
I'm just
call him
saying this
shit eating worm.
I'm just connecting the dots.
Shit. God damn. Okay. Well, I don't know,
But,
man. It's kind of just seems like he's.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt. I looked it up, and everything he said was true. So it's kind of a moral compass kind of thing, you know. If that's something you're willing to do, go for it.
I can't argue with something being true, but
Yeah,
you know, not for me.
yeah,
Not for me.
All right, next story here. Are you done?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. Do we all remember John Wayne Bobbitt? You remember John Wayne Bobbitt?
Oh yeah. Speaking of worm, he's wormless. Oh, he got the worm back.
God, you got a good memory. Yeah, he was the guy who got his dick cut off by his wife. But this headline says
That's marriage.
this guy, this article says John Wayne Bobbitt, vet whose wife sliced off his manhood, loses toes due to a toxic water spill at Camp Lejeune.
Okay, wait. I've heard of Camp Lejeune. Oh my God, wait. I get like emails from Camp Lejeune. What the fuck is Camp Lejeune, and why is there toxic waste or water, and why is it on his toes?
I'm guessing it's a military camp because it says he's a vet. And, yeah, he basically, I think he had cancer in his toes from being exposed to they do that in the military all the time. They just throw the boys in the goo. The goo makes them sick.
Yeah, it is a military base.
Yeah.
And why is there no address?
Oh.
Give me the address. Excuse me, what's the address to your military base?
So when the article says loses toes due to toxic water, I thought it was like, oh, maybe 1 foot, maybe 3 toes. He lost all 10 toes.
Whoa.
He better watch his nose. It's coming next.
It's in North Carolina.
Everything on that side. His nose is in North Carolina?
No, Camp Lejeune.
Okay.
Man, do you think losing your toes is like, or losing anything the second time is like, been here, done that? It's not as scary anymore.
No, man. Losing your toes would suck.
Oh, I heard it fucks up your balance.
Yeah, well, yeah. The wind would knock you over, bud.
Wait, he lost all of his toes?
All 10 toes, baby.
Wait, all 10?
All 10, baby.
Do you think they could cut off his penis again and shape it into 10 little piggies?
It's possible.
He doesn't have that much. I heard after he got it sewn back on, it like half worked or something. I don't know. But he
Only one side got hard.
One side.
You know.
It was weird. It was the front of it,
Yeah,
and not the back.
Yeah. It looked like a doorstop.
What? No, but he did like pornos apparently, where he was in a porno called Frankenwiener or something like that, because it was like, you know, stitched back on. So like he got some modicum of fame from that.
Did it have little bolts on the side?
I've never seen it. It was just like one of those. It was one of those.
It was already
one of those,
green, falling off, so it worked.
You know, one of those conversation starters at the beginning of interviews and stuff.
Speed dating.
One of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, do you know John Wayne Bobbitt's penis? That kind of stuff. Yeah. Pretty bad, but he got I don't think he's gonna get any porno deals off his toes.
Yeah, I got to keep the shoes on, buddy.
This little piggy went to the fucking sex place. Where do you have sex?
This little piggy went to Pound Town.
I'm not gonna lie. I have to ask you, where's all the sex? I can't seem to find any of it.
I've heard there's a lot at truck stops.
You'll lose some body parts if you go start having sex at truck stops. I'm just telling you right now.
Those houses that are boarded up, that's usually a good sign too.
That's another under the bridge.
A what now?
I read okay. Oh, under the bridge. I shouldn't have even told you that. You're gonna take it all now. But here's the thing. I don't even want to say this out loud because okay. In this podcast, sorry, one sec. In this podcast, we have to do our research, and you end up finding like weird stories and like stuff that you're like, I'm never going to cover this. This is like fucked up or like weird. But
yeah, some of the stuff
on,
is
like,
it's too much.
Yeah, I found out that that like nannies back in like the early 1900s or like late 1800s or I don't know, mid 18. Who knows what
who gives
era.
a shit?
I didn't really look into it. But basically what they were doing is like nurses and nannies would basically like give out hand jobs to make their patients like go to sleep.
Damn. Things
Isn't
really
that
were better
crazy?
back then.
I'd be hitting that button every fucking second. Who keeps calling the nurse? It's been 10 minutes. I know I can't sleep.
I can't sleep.
But the horrible part. Nurse is fun. It's funny. It's fine. It's funny. It's whatever. Nanny.
Yeah. What?
I don't even want to go into it because I feel like I'm going to be put on a list just by. I saw a number that was below 4 that like children couldn't sleep, and I'm like, does that even work? What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Let's
nuts.
move on.
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry. You can cut that last part out if you'd like. Okay, I have another one right here as retired chiropractor killed Elvis impersonator by chloroforming him more than once during sex.
What the fuck? That can't be real.
Yeah. I'll do it again. Retired chiropractor killed Elvis impersonator by chloroforming him more than once during sex. So, a retired chiropractor in upstate New York, he's facing manslaughter charges after he allegedly killed an Elvis Presley impersonator by chloroforming him during sex. So the doctor is 69, Ronald Rayer, he likes to be bound. No, he bound the Elvis impersonator, Thomas Critter.
Oh my god. Was Critter in uniform?
I thought it's a retired chiropractor. I thought it was a retired Elvis impersonator. No.
Oh, you never retire from that.
So here's the thing with Elvis impersonators. You're always kind of in uniform because the pompadour is a big part of it. You know what I mean? So he had the big black pompadour. He's 40. But apparently he's married with a wife, but when he wasn't doing his Elvis impersonating, he was doing something else on the side with the 69-year-old ex-chiropractor.
Oh.
And he basically liked to be bound or something and have sex with this guy, and I guess they would use chloroform as like a part of his kink. I guess he maybe liked to be knocked out, but the chiropractor, I guess, chloroformed him with too heavy of a dose or multiple times, and he killed him.
I didn't know you could die from that.
I think you could die from ingesting any chemical too much.
True.
But 4 days after Critter's death, Mr. Rare, the chiropractor, went to the sheriff's office and reported that his body was in the basement of his home, and he was arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter and evidence tampering for allegedly moving Critter's things from the crime scene. He's probably trying to clean up a little. The guy was just trying to clean up. You don't want to leave all the sex stuff around when the cops show up, right?
Officer, he stopped dancing. He won't dance for me no more.
He stopped wailing like a hound dog. He stopped doing the shaky leg thing about 4 days ago. I don't want to sing Jailhouse Rock. Don't do it. Don't do it, coppers.
Coppers, don't make me now. I'm just a hound dog. Don't make me sing the Jailhouse Rock. I want to be in Hawaii.
We're just like trying to reference anything Elvis we know. Anyway, so I guess they had known each other for like many years and had many sexual encounters, and the chloroforming appeared to be consensual. That's the weird thing. So like I said, it was like an accidental death basically, and the guy freaked out for like 4 days and then went to the police. But you got to go right away. But I understand, why he probably freaked out. But here's the best part. So I guess Critter went by the stage name T.J. Green. And he also worked as a tour guide at the Star Trek Museum in Ticonderoga.
He lived in a pencil?
So. Oh, what the hell, baby? Get me out of here. It's nothing but graphite and wood.
Sharpen me up, baby. Oh.
What'd you say?
Sharpen me up.
Oh, shit. There's a first grader chewing on me. There's a bunch of chewed on pencils in my first grade class. There's one kid that would take all the pencils and like chew on them, and they all had teeth marks in them.
Yeah, they were teething.
Disgusting. But I feel bad for his wife because she reported him missing to the police, and he said he's gonna go pick up a free box spring from a person. I don't know. You don't pick up any bedding.
No.
Anything associated with bedding, you don't pick up secondhand. You just don't.
You don't do it.
You know what you do instead? You go to your friend's house and you have him chloroform you while you have sex.
Yeah. No, I feel bad for the estate of Elvis. Imagine being like his grandson and being like, oh, Dad's name's in the headlines again. What is it this time? What the fuck?
Wait. You mean Elvis's family or this guy's family?
Elvis's family, man. No good news is coming out about Elvis these days.
It's never Elvis impersonator saves children from burning fire.
It really isn't. Yet.
But I think that comes with the territory. I've never seen an Elvis impersonator that was completely hinged. They're always a little unhinged.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
He's a tragic figure. I feel like you have to be a little tragic in order to play him.
Yeah.
It's called method acting, David.
True.
You got another story for me?
All right. Hospital staff pleads. Hospital staff pleads with snakebite victims to stop bringing snakes to the emergency departments.
Yeah, I think they tell you bring the snake with you. But I think the only reason they say that, they used to say that. That used to be like an ism that people were like, if you get bit by a snake, bring the snake with you. But I think that was only because they wanted to know what kind of snake it was. But now we all have cameras on our phone.
Exactly.
So
we can Google.
I think there's or just take a picture of the fucking snake that just bit you. But I think
swear
a lot
to God,
of people
doctor. I swear to God, the snake had a baby rattle on the back.
I think a lot of people get confused, and they think that the reason you bring the snake is that they can take the snake and create an anti-venom from the snake or something like that. But that's not the case. Like I said, it's just for identifying purposes.
Yeah.
But there's a great Nate Bargatze joke about how he was told if you get bit by a snake, you're supposed to go catch the snake, and he's like, that sounds like the worst idea ever. Who told you that? The snake?
It's gonna finish you off.
I think he's like there is definitely a difference between one snake bite and 20 snake bites.
Yeah, for sure.
But don't. I've walked across a couple rattlers in my day.
Oh yeah.
I got close. They just been hanging off a trail, and I was walking with my headphones on, and I was probably about 3 feet away from my leg, and it was a big son bitch, probably 4 feet long.
They get big.
And I was in the middle of like a 3-mile hike, so that would have been a
You bragging?
no, 3 miles isn't that long. I'm trying to say that if I had to hike out of there, the one thing they tell you to like be calm because the venom can like course through your veins if your heart starts pumping faster. And I'll be like,
oh yeah.
Not only would I be freaking out, but I'd be probably sprinting.
Yeah. And or hiking.
So, yeah, both are just exhausting anyway. So it's gonna be pumping my blood. So not good.
No, typically not.
At least I killed it. I killed it. It was just living its life, and I killed it.
It's dead now.
I grabbed it by its neck, and I broke it.
I don't know if you
I
can.
didn't kill it. No, I know. I think they're all neck anyway.
Yeah.
But no, I did not touch it. I kept walking. Fuck it. I'm not gonna kill a snake.
Yeah, we went camping outside of LA once, and we must have been next to a rattler hole because there was like 15 rattlesnakes all around us.
Yeah, there's a lot actually in California that people kind of forget. I forget about.
Yeah.
It's like, it's deserty, you know? That's where they live.
Yeah, we slept in the car.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. Or you just get a big lasso and put it around yourself like a fucking cowboy.
Hang from like the tree?
No, do you not know? You take a rope and you make a big circle around yourself, and I guess if snakes like come up on you and they hit the rope, they'll turn around. They won't try to cross the rope apparently.
I did not know that.
That could be also by Big
myth.
Snake.
That could be by Big Snake and Co. Yeah.
They're like, they hate it when you put delicious crickets on your neck.
Yeah. They hate the rope because after they kill you, they drag it back to their lair and they have sex with it.
They're like, you're so skinny.
Oh, yeah. So coarse.
You don't shave, do you?
Jesus Christ.
Sorry, is that like, I didn't mean for that to come out as...
No, that's good. That's nice and horny. Keep them horny.
Should I go back to the nurse thing?
Yeah. No. Let's leave the nurse thing behind us. No, the nurse thing's
like
fine.
You think nanny?
It's the nanny thing that we're concerned
I feel
about.
like I'm being persecuted. Like I'm the fucking nanny, dude.
You might be. Let me see your portfolio. Let me see your resume.
Don't shoot the messenger. So it says here in 1850 you worked at Children's Insane Asylum. They had those.
Those damn kids would never sleep. I got carpal tunnel.
With their slingshots and their bags of poop on fire.
And their whatchamacallits.
Any kid that was a rascal, send them straight to the insane asylum, I tell you.
Yeah.
Just deal with them.
Make them watch a hobo eat an apple with a knife.
Oh, my God.
Fixes them up real quick.
Yeah. Get in line. Anyway. Okay, should we get into these stories?
Absolutely.
Or do you have one more news story?
No.
Okay. Cool. All right. Now, David, we've all had our fair share of accidents. Sometimes you take a nanny job and then it becomes something completely else. Okay, I'm done. So, whether that be spilling a glass of wine on the white carpet, stubbing your toe on a coffee table, or absolutely annihilating your pants with voluminous amounts of diarrhea. Well, today, I would like to tell you about a man that endured not only accidents, but more nearly fatal accidents than I would ever care to experience. As today, I tell you about the ghost of Dinant, Adolph Sax. So, born November 6th, 1814, in the village of Dinant, spelled Dinant, in what is now Belgium, Adolph Sax was raised by his homemaker mother Marie and his woodworker father Charles. Adolf had a seemingly normal childhood in the sense that he was accomplished, well-educated, and had loving parents. But none of that could save Adolf from himself, since Adolf was extremely accident-prone. So, throughout Adolf's life, he would go on to fall victim to a number of increasingly bizarre and dangerous accidents that would almost take his life, starting at the age of 3. When Adolf was just a toddler, he was unsupervised as he meandered around the upper floor of their home. That's when he bumped into the fucking nanny. I'm joking. Okay, I'm sorry.
Enough
it's so
is
hard.
enough.
The intrusive thoughts are winning. So, wandering around the upper floor.
Lock him up and throw away the key, goddammit.
Triple down, quadruple down, quad simple down. Quad simple, that's not.
Yeah, you're a little quad simple.
So, quince. So, octuple. So, Adolf would make the nearly fatal mistake of playing around at the top of the stairs. Oh, that is the best place to play, though.
Oh, yeah.
You ever do like a somersault just near the top of the stairs?
I always left my Legos in toy cars at the top of the stairs.
Just in case the wet bandits showed up.
Exactly.
Couple Hot Wheels up there.
Yeah. With the big monster truck wheels.
Yeah. So he made the fatal mistake of playing at the top of the stairs as he would fall down, not 1, not 2, but 3 flights of wooden stairs, smacking his head on the stone floor at the very bottom. Just a reminder, this is a 3-year-old.
Oh, they're made out of rubber.
Cantaloupe.
Nah, they're made out of rubber.
No, but their heads are soft as a cantaloupe.
Nah, they bounce right up.
Have you seen Caillou? That's a cantaloupe head. That thing's mushy.
I took a lot of blows to the head when I was a child, which is why I don't remember much. But
yeah, people call you 2-week-old pump jack-o'-lantern head.
It's true.
Soft as a 2-week-old jack-o'-lantern, no teeth, head caving in on
falling
itself.
out.
Bunch of flies around it.
The squirrels are always getting drunk, eating my flesh.
Do they do that?
Yeah, squirrels can get drunk, like eating, pumpkins sometimes.
Oh shit!
If it ferments in the sun.
Pumpkin.
Oof. Might do more.
That's how they make prison wine.
Oh,
prison pumpkin.
In the toilet.
Who ate all the prison pumpkin? Everybody gets fucking mad when I show up to the cookout with the prison pumpkin.
They're so ungrateful. It takes a lot of work, a lot of time.
What the fuck you mean I'm uninvited to the cookout? I'm here already. What do you mean half the prison pumpkin's gone and you're mad?
No paper plate for you.
So, he fell down 3 flights of wooden stairs, smacked his head on the stone floor. Boom. Some say he spent a week in a coma. Others say he was just bedridden for that time. But in the end, Adolf was still alive. Sorry, squirrels. But he would test fate again as he would go on to swallow a large needle.
You shouldn't make them cherry flavored. I don't know what to tell you.
Hey, what do you mean I can't bring my prison pumpkin? Oh, I brought cherry needles.
A bunch of sewing needles. Does this work?
Oh man, it's dessert. You fucking don't eat it if you don't like it. So there doesn't seem to be much information about how he got a hold of said needle, but the needle was pretty fucking big apparently. But he would miraculously go on to pass the sharp metal object without any internal damage.
Impressive.
Which is, yeah. Have you ever eaten anything that is non-digestible that you had to pass?
One time I accidentally halfway swallowed a pen cap.
Condom?
Pen
cap.
I coughed it back up, luckily.
So you didn't swallow it?
No. It got stuck in my throat. I thought I was going to fucking die.
Yeah, I don't think I've... You never even eaten a penny or a marble? Come on.
There was one time...
oh, you almost ate a fucking rock at a wedding.
I didn't almost. I pretended to. I was under a complete control, and then someone else ate a rock. And then
sound like
pretended
an
like they
addict.
joked it. They were joking too.
You sound like an addict. I was under complete control the entire time.
I was.
I knew what I was doing.
Yeah, I've pretended to eat lots of things. I'm good at it. When I was like 5 though, I was at like my sister's basketball game, and there was like another kid there who was older. My mom was like, "Oh yeah, just like watch him, like go with her." And she had like, remember when you in like elementary school when they had like those erasers that were shaped like things? Like there's that frog in those like sick 80s swimsuits. Like leopard
Yes.
print swimsuits. They were erasers,
Yes.
but they just smeared everything.
They're more just like rubber action figures to a certain extent.
But they're
I know
tiny.
exactly. It's almost like, yeah, but it looks like somebody took like they like stamped it out. It's like a thick cookie.
Yeah.
Like a thick rubber cookie, but it's tiny.
Yeah.
I could smell those that you're talking about them right now.
Yeah, the girl that was like quote unquote babysitting me, not really. She like pretend to put it up her nose and like hid it in her hand. And I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I took the one that I had and I shoved it up my nose. And my parents had to take me to the ER, and they had to get these giant like tweezers and pull it out of my nose. That's the closest thing to digesting something.
You're so easily influenced.
I was like 4 or 5.
God, you're so
I know.
manipulated. You so want to fit in.
I know.
I don't have that.
I know. Just want people to like me.
So Adolf, like I said, he had an iron stomach, but he would go on to test this again, as swallowing random objects seemed to be his favorite hobby.
It felt so good going down.
That needle probably did.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Get a sore throat, swallow a needle.
He's like 8. He's like, oh fuck, I almost choked.
Yeah.
I'm glad that there's a fucking needle in my stomach again.
You got that itch,
The worm,
scratch that motherfucker.
the big worms, like I got it from here.
Yeah.
Huh?
Big worms, they scoot in, they take care of it.
All the worms like, let's get to work. So, did I say iron stomach? I probably should have said lead, as Adolf would grab a bowl off the counter and drink it, believing the white liquid to be milk. But of course it wasn't, because it was like fucking the 1800s.
Lead-based
So Adolf
paint.
would actually drink a mixture of white lead, copper oxide, and arsenic. What the fuck?
That has to kill the boy.
It has. Are you the doctor?
No boy
has to
survives
kill
that.
the boy.
It has to kill the boy.
I think it was diluted with water, but like, what the fuck were they using that for? Were they like washing like brass or something? Like, what is that? I just want to know what that's used for.
They were washing Grandpappy's leg.
Is that?
He lost one from the war, so it was a wood one.
That's like where they put, how people like collect bacon grease in like a tin can? Is that their leftover arsenic? And they're like, we can't put it in the trash can. It'll eat a hole right through it.
I got a jar under my sink filled with grease.
Do you?
Yeah. Just
Okay, let's
fill it
move
up
on.
and throw it away.
Let's move on. So my next sentence is, why the fuck was that in the kitchen? Who knows? He survived this as well. But that's not to say his toilet probably looked like he had participated in a spicy wing challenge followed by a Four Loko. It couldn't have been good. So, it wasn't long after that Adolf said, hold my Four Loko, and then accidentally fell onto a hot cast iron stove side first.
How
Jesus
do you
Christ,
fall?
boy.
How do you just fall onto a goddamn stove?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. So,
I know what it is.
What?
He was going for the cookie jar. He slipped on a banana on the counter, going for the cookie jar, and he slipped right onto that griddle.
Boy was going for the arsenic and needle jar. Are you kidding me? He saw a jar full of sharp screws and was like, challenge accepted.
He saw a box of batteries and just wanted to eat them.
Saw a case of rat traps. He saw a bundle of thumbtacks. But I don't know how he did this. Some say some things said it was a cast iron pan. Some say it was a cast iron stove. I think it was cast iron stove just sounds better. But he fell on its side first. Okay. Suffering from severe burns going up the side of his body. He again got extremely lucky and avoided any infection that usually came with such burns, to go on to almost die a couple more times, of course. So the most severe and nearly fatal of his accidents was when Adolph fell into a river when he was about 10 years old. This is kind of a classic I almost died,
Yeah.
Jeff Buckley style, So no one actually saw the boy fall into the water, but instead the 10-year-old was found by a random villager floating face down by the town mill. Good Lord. So he was pulled from the river, believed to be dead, but again, by some miracle, the boy regained consciousness. See, Adolph returned home safe and sound, so to hopefully find something safer than hanging around rivers or stoves. The place he found was, of course, his father's workshop, where he could be under the supervision, of his father at all times. That didn't help, though, as we all probably know that woodworking shops are one of the least safe. But it's not the way you think it's going to happen. There's a little diversion in here, as a little reversal, because in some freak accident, Adolph was blown across the room after a barrel of gunpowder ignited and exploded, sending the boy flying like Wile E. Coyote out of a fucking cannon.
Yeah, I always keep my gunpowder next to my welding machine.
Yeah, honestly, a barrel. I mean, hey, they had to store it some places. I get it. I wonder what you actually use gunpowder for when you were woodworking.
Nothing.
Maybe to like weaken the wood in some spots. I don't know. Finish the wood?
I don't think there's any use for gunpowder in woodworking.
Well, now there isn't, but back in when was this again? He was like 10 years old. He was born. This was like 1820 something, 1830. So yeah, they were using gunpowder to fucking put the baby to sleep. If you know what I'm saying. So
actually don't.
So, like I said, he's blown across the room. Maybe his father's workshop wasn't the best for him. So instead, he sought employment out in the streets. Oh, by the way, he survived that, of course. But he was like, you know what? I got to get out of the wood shop. My dad, he's got too many barrels of gunpowder. So he's like, I'm going to go work out in the streets. I'm going to, do something out there. And while he was employed in the streets, not as a hooker, of course, but these, what did I say? I said, so instead of he sought employment out in the streets, these are Belgium streets, so I assume they were nicer and safer than a wood shop. And the streets were actually the problem. What? And the streets were actually... and the streets were actually... The problem was, though, that the roofs weren't as safe, as a large slate tile flew off a nearby roof and struck him in the head, rendering him temporarily comatose. So
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. So at this point, it was clear that Adolph was cursed to some extent, as his own mother would say that he was condemned to misfortune, while also saying he won't live. Thanks, Mom. What the fuck?
That's mothers for you.
Yeah, exactly. He's not gonna live much longer.
Yeah.
Did he cheat death, Final Destination style? Like, what is happening?
Was this a cat?
But it was a cat. Wouldn't that be a great little twist?
Yeah. Got 9 lives, baby.
This is a human boy.
Oh. Well, now I'm looking back on everything you've said. I kind of think this is a cat.
It kind of seems like it would be a cat. Yeah,
cats
you're right.
eat needles all the fucking time. They think it's milk.
And he thought it was milk. Yeah, cats don't eat needles.
You're trying to pull a quick one on me. I figured this shit out. I know this ending. It's a cat.
It's not a cat.
This is the
wish it was
story
a
of the
cat.
whole. This is where the whole 9 lives comes from. This is where the saying comes from. I'm reading right through you, buddy. You can't trick me, motherfucker.
Well, let me go on a little bit longer.
What's
So,
next? He
it was
choked
also-
on his flea medicine.
So it was also stated that he was drowned in a river. That kind of works too.
Cats hate water.
So-
You can hit a cat in
It
the
was
head
also-
with a panel. Whatever the fuck hit him
You
in the head.
can.
Cats
Yeah.
can't go into comas
Yeah.
though.
What?
No, it's scientifically proven to be impossible.
You just have to shake him awake.
Yeah.
So, it was also stated that he was nearly poisoned 3 times by varnish and also fell out of a 3-story window. God, that does sound like a cat.
Let me guess, he landed on his feet.
No. I was going to say, but honestly, the fish might have gotten bigger as time gone on because I don't know if these are actually proven ones. The poison 3 times by varnish and fell out of a 3-story window. I just don't know. So regardless, he even gained the nickname from his neighbors as they began to refer to the young Adolf as the ghost child of Dinant. Like I said, that's the name of the town. So one neighbor even saying, "There will never be another Adolf that is as unfortunate as you. Never again. Not even if there was a Second World War or some shit. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm drunk." That's crazy. He's fucking said that. Okay, that last part was completely made up. Nobody's had a quote about him, but I just thought it was too fucking good. So, but besides constantly getting injured, Adolf also had other hobbies, such as music. You see, his father's wood shop was primarily dedicated to making clarinets, flutes, and other musical instruments, and Adolf liked to help his father. Apparently, Adolf even changed some holes on the design of the clarinet, making it better sounding, quote unquote.
Yeah, that's
and made a flute. It made a flute out of ivory, which was thought to be impossible. He also hit a ball of yarn around the floor.
He kept bringing in dead mice.
I really wanted to end this with he was a cat, but as the rest of the story goes, you're gonna be like, "There's no way it's a cat." Everything before you mentioned the cat could have been a cat.
Okay, you say so.
So now, an adult, Adolf began submitting his instruments to the Belgium National Exhibition. Okay, it's a cat.
Yeah. He was dragging dead mice and shit in there.
And even though he was clearly the best to submit, even rumored to be taking home the gold, the jury denied him the medal, stating that he was too young and a cat. Too young, and if he won so early on that he would have nothing to strive for in the future. They offered him second place and a little catnip, and he turned down the medal, saying, "If they think me too young to deserve the gold medal, I myself think me too old to accept this silver one." Boom.
Hell yeah. And then he ate a fish.
And then he said, "But I'll take a little treat if you got any."
Excuse me.
So in 1841, at the age of
where's the litter box?
In 1841, at the age of 27, he did win a medal for oldest cat. Just kidding. So, no, at the age of 27 was the last time he submitted to the exhibition, as one of the competitors would take his newly created instrument and kick the shit out of it, breaking it and rendering it useless for competition. So he's like, "Fuck this. I don't like this. I'm moving to fucking France." So he went. So
he went
would
to
go on
France?
to make. So, oh, dude, I have it all capitalized right here. He'd go on to make numerous enemies, actually, because of how good he was at instrument making. As one glowing review in French,
there it is,
would make. What the fuck? Oh, sorry. One review in French would go on to make all the French instrument makers form a club to take him down because it was so positive, boycotting his new and better designs for existing instruments as well as his new instrument that was taking the world by storm. Isn't it just so funny that, like, no one's like fucking creating new instruments anymore or like redesign. No one's like, let me take the trumpet and
you see
Zuzuvela?
That new guitar that someone made that was like the neck rotates and it has like 50 strings on it. That's pretty new. I think the thing's pretty badass.
I did see that. That was actually pretty cool.
That is just a guitar, you know.
That's true.
It's a new version.
So, I mean, a lot of instruments are kind of slightly different. Like a piccolo is kind of like piccolo is kind of like a smaller flute, obviously, and like a clarinet. The smaller version of that is like an oboe or something. I don't know.
Bonsoon.
So he would go his whole life dealing with legal trouble from other instrument makers, constantly suing him over the patents for over 20 years. He survived lip cancer and continued the good fight, filing for bankruptcy 3 times in his life, but he never gave up on his creation. Adolph would eventually die of pneumonia in 1849 as a poor man living in Paris.
Damn.
But his legacy would go on to inspire the world, as his melancholic instrument became one of the most recognizable and beautiful instruments to this day, as the brass beauty would be his namesake. As today, we enjoy the sound of the incredible instrument he left behind, the saxophone.
Whoa. A cat made a saxophone? Does Jay Leno know that? Not Jay Leno.
Bill Clinton.
Does Bill Clinton know that? I got mixed up because of that old McDonald's ad with the crescent moon playing the saxophone. And then I thought that crescent moon was Jay Leno.
Because you got that crescent moon chin?
Yeah.
So,
I get
like
confused easily. Don't do magic around me.
So like I said, Adolph Sax, he was very accident prone, but at the end, he was the creator of the saxophone. He was the OG. And all these guys tried to fucking like be like, oh no, that's my instrument, that's mine. And he's like, no, I designed it. And they're like, no, I designed something similar. But like, yeah, no one got close to his patent. So
his last name was Sax?
Yeah, Adolph Sax.
Man, I had a math teacher with the last name Sax. Fuck, what was his first name? Steve Sax.
Is it Sax like? Is it Sax like SACKS?
No, SAX.
Yeah, that's like Adolph's last name. Oh,
damn, I wonder if they're related. Yeah, man, he played the saxophone too. He would rip up some real jazzy tunes teaching us math.
I bet that was like a very strong talking point at Christmas, being like, oh, even if they weren't related to him, be like, Sax, like, you know, the guy who created the saxophone, his last name was Sax. And then someone's like, fucking play it. Fulfill my dreams for me, my child.
Yeah. Every year you get a saxophone from old Sax head.
Old Sax Nick.
Yeah, Sax-a-Rooney. Was that the end?
Anyway. That's the end, dude.
Is it my turn?
Oh, wait, I got one more.
Yeah.
Also, he was a cat.
Ah, fuck, I knew it.
Ah, okay.
You gotta admit, though,
84-year-old cat.
I was on to something.
You were. You surprised me. I was thinking it was going to turn out to be a cat.
I'm sharp as a whip these days. It's all these vitamins I'm taking.
Rhino.
No, they're just pebbles, but they make me feel really strong.
I feel like Dwayne.
Yeah. Oh, man. Big Dwayne energy.
I am the Rock because I've eaten so many. You are what you eat.
So saw a lot of good I was just in Chicago recently and saw a lot of good billboards. Saw a lot of them that said Big Dwayne energy with Dwayne the Rock Johnson, or pardon me, the Rock the Dwayne Johnson. But the only the D in Dwayne was the color of the rest of it, and then like the rest of the name was kind of like a lighter color, so it looked like it said Big D energy. It was a good billboard.
What was he selling?
Like an energy drink, I think.
He makes energy drinks?
I guess. I don't know. I was so distracted by the billboard, I don't even know what it was selling.
Good God.
Yeah. And if any of my Chicago heads are listening out here, Top Dog gets you top dollar.
Yeah, I saw those billboards. You sent them to me.
I'm not joking. So in the city of Chicago, there's a lot of billboards, big city. Third or fourth biggest city in the U.S. And there is a lawyer in the area who goes by Top Dog, who is a white guy on the billboard. He's holding like a cartoon bag of money and then like an inflatable 80s cell phone.
Fuck yeah.
And it says Top Dog gets you top dollar. And
does he get you big phone too?
He can probably get you a big phone if you want. But I'm not joking. I'm not being sarcastic when I say this. I think he legitimately has that billboard at least once every mile.
Smart.
It was, I would say it was probably 60% of the billboards.
I wonder how much a billboard costs. Was rural Chicago or
all over
inner city?
All over,
Shit.
just on the freeway. And
he obviously has top dollar. We couldn't put those up, so
absolutely,
you know.
And he had like we would see them, and it would be like back to back. Like there would be one, and then there'd be like another one, like 200 feet behind it, of the same billboard. It was crazy. Top Dog get you top dollar. Shout out Top Dog.
I've seen some of that before, where like they like if you see one billboard, like it kind of sticks. If you see like the same billboard twice in a row, you're like, oh, what the fuck? You take notice. If you see three, that's a talking point. Now you're telling other people like there's some guy in fucking LA that like puts his billboards on upside down.
Whoa,
smart.
Yeah,
and you know that they're designed that way because everything's upside down except for his website or something.
Yeah, his Instagram.
Yeah, his name or his website. So I was like, oh, this was like planned.
Is he like a car accident attorney? So like you're like trying to look at the billboard and you rear end someone?
I think it's like Jacob and Ronnie or something. You probably see it's like called
Jacob.
Fucking guy. Called Jacob.
Can you call him just to talk?
It's a phone sex line.
Yeah. Jacob, he says he's just sweating, going on and off every phone.
I call him and I say, "Put this on big phone. I got things to say."
Yeah.
Hey Jacob, you're gonna need big phone for this.
Yeah, inflate the big phone, buddy. All right, Tobin. Today I'm going to talk about a topic we have joked about on this podcast for years, but I think it's time we stop joking and talk about some facts. So the year was 2001. Bigger news was, the focus in the United States. So it's very possible that this story went under the radar for many people. I know it did for myself.
Was it 9/11?
That's what I was referring to, was kind of, that kind of took over the news waves, the airwaves. So this one might have not really been publicized as much because, bigger things happening. So a 13-year-old boy named Cody Lawson was attending a Boy Scout camp trip in the glorious Yellowstone National Park, camping with his leaders and fellow Boy Scouts. Cody set out to collect supplies like sticks for a campfire and whatnot when he selfishly ignored the number one rule of Boy Scouts: the buddy system.
Don't go in the counselor's tent.
That's the unspoken number one rule. They can't write that one down. We are not held liable if you go into the counselor's tent.
Anything in the tent is
it's not Boy Scouts. That's Man Scouts. Man Scouts things happening there.
When we're in my tent, I am not Leader Dave anymore. You call me man. Nurse Dave.
Stop it. I got kicked out of Boy Scouts. We already went over those. And so yeah, always go with a friend, not alone. Naturally, Cody got lost in the vast Yellowstone National Park, which I have visited a few times and camped at myself. Yellowstone National Park is absolutely massive, measuring in at nearly 2,220,000 acres.
Oh man, we could fucking put a Walmart there.
You could put like 40 of them in there.
Only 40. That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean mega Walmarts, you know. So
We're not including the parking lots and the garden centers.
So Yellowstone also touches. It's within Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. So it's spanned between 3 states. That's how big it is.
Is that where they have all the geysers?
Yeah, like old.
Oh, okay.
Old.
Faithful.
Old Faithful. Yeah, I was trying to say Old Yeller, but Old Yeller dead.
He got
Old Yeller
he got
ate
tossed.
lead, and he did not survive that one.
Yeah, he started foaming.
Yeah.
But people didn't stick around and watch.
They definitely found him face down in a river. Yellowstone is also home to predators like badgers, bears, bobcats, Canadian lynx, cougars, coyotes, and gray wolves. Other danger.
Canadian lynx. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know that was
illegal immigrants.
Yeah, lock them up. Other dangerous animals include the mighty bison, elk, and moose. All of these animals would make short work of a 13-year-old kid. Some would like to eat the boy. Other ones would just like to run the boy over until he stops moving.
Yeah, I've seen what those moose can do with their lanky ass legs.
Moose are big as shit. They're like bigger than cars. They're huge.
I should start riding a moose to work.
If you can tame it, oh buddy, you get bucked off real quick.
I just sit in the antlers.
Nah, he would turn you into maple syrup real quick, like.
No, they're all like, I'd wait until they're all fuzzy and shit. You know, like when they're not just bone. But like I feel like moose antlers are kind of they're kind of like a canopy a little bit. They're not as sharp, right?
Yeah, they're stubby, but they would still break every bone in your body.
Yes, they would.
They are very dangerous animals. So, at the time Cody got lost, he was only equipped with a t-shirt, shorts, and sandals. Who goes camping in sandals? Get some Crocs, bud. Not ideal for survival in the wilderness. 4 hours into his disappearance, they realized he was gone and sent out search and rescue dogs and people looking high and low for the boy, but no luck on this day. So, as the day quickly turned to night and the weather also took a turn for the worse, as it started pouring down rain, Cody then decided to take shelter in a cave he found. Also kind of sketchy because, a lot of animals live in caves, like bear. Knowing the heavy rainfall
other animals... Sorry. Other animals love caves?
What?
Cats.
Some cats do.
Is this a cat?
I think big cats. You think Cody was a cat? Is that what you're trying to say?
Maybe.
You think Cody was a cat? What part of this makes you think he's a fucking cat?
Sandals.
You think cats and Boy Scouts? You think they let... It's not the Cat Scouts. Did I say Cat Scouts?
What mountain range was it? Was it the Catskills?
No, it was Yellowstone.
No pun there. Yellow cat.
Yellow cat.
Okay, I'm done.
So knowing the heavy rainfall would have disrupted any of Cody's scents, the search dogs were retired and a more aggressive approach was taken. So at the 18-hour mark of him missing, Cody started hearing approaching sounds of small planes and helicopters during the next morning. The boy sprinted from his cover and looked for a clear opening and found a spot. He took his belt off, using the sun to flash the aircrafts to get their attention. And gosh damn it worked. Pretty smart.
Wait. The boy done took his pants off and flashed the helicopter? I wouldn't be trusting those pilots. He's like, all of a sudden the pilot's like, we got to get down there right now.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Just you wait. Just you wait.
And someone's like, wait, sir, we can't land there. He's like, I'm fine. I know how to fly this. I'm a fucking nanny. I'm a nurse. I know what I'm doing.
This is just the warm up. The helicopter descended, landing in the opening to rescue Cody. But who stepped out of the whirlybird was the last thing Cody expected. Good morning. That was oh my god, that was a terrible. That was a really bad impersonation of who this is.
Good morning.
No. Kind of close, but not really. Good morning. I guess I don't have one.
Is it Jesse Ventura? Who is it?
Good morning leaked from the man with a gravelly voice. Cody looked at the man and said, Han Solo? That's right. Famed actor.
It was a cat.
Famed actor and aircraft enthusiast, Big Cat Williams. Harrison Ford.
Harrison the Cat Ford.
Harrison the Cat Ford was the one that found the boy. Cody told the Daily Mail, when we landed, Harrison Ford came over to me and said, "Boy, you sure must have earned a merit badge for this one." But I told him I had already earned this badge last summer, and he laughed. So, yeah.
Well, helicopter pilot? I mean, what was the badge?
Survival.
Fucking up everyone's fucking weekend.
Yeah, ruining everybody's fun trip. Costing people their jobs.
Being a dumbass and going camping in sandals.
Being a dumb piece of shit and just wandering into the woods.
Oh, using up all my helicopter fuel badge?
Yeah.
Asshole.
Fucking kid, this shit isn't cheap. Now I gotta go do Blade Runner 2, god damn it. Ford's obsession with aircrafts came at a young age, long before his days of the big old screen. Before becoming an actor, Ford took classes to become a pilot, but eventually had to give up his passion due to financial shortcomings. So, obviously, when the movie money started flowing, it opened the door for him to return to his hobby. Although, after I wrote that, I guess he was like 50 when he started piloting again. So that would have been quite a bit after he got big.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he probably was just like right in that, with actors, you kind of have to just like, we always think of, I think we were just born after Harrison Ford was already established. But
yeah,
for actors, you kind of have to be like, I have to keep working because I don't know like when my hot streak is going to end. So he probably like spent 20 years like making a career, and then he's like, cool, now I'm like 50, I could kind of like ride the wave a little bit, and now I can be choosy instead of taking every single role or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, he for most actors, he's probably one of the luckier ones that like people still love him. You know, like he's always maintained like that good level of like, yeah, he might do a movie every like 5 years, but when that does happen, people are like hyped for it.
Yeah, he still has that movie star quality to him.
Yeah.
Even though Indiana Jones, the new one, bombed, but it was okay. It was like not horrible.
I didn't see it.
It wasn't very good, but it was like all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. But as we have talked about many times on this podcast, his heroic tale of saving a child was on the bright side of his mostly dark relationship with aircrafts. While training in a helicopter in 1999, Ford encountered his first accident when he made an emergency landing in a dried up riverbed in California. Now, luckily, Ford had been trained on how to successfully maneuver in an emergency landing situation, and his instructor and himself walked away from the accident unhurt, but the helicopter was totaled.
Now we know why he stepped away from fucking helicopter piloting.
Yeah. Unfortunately, in 2015, Ford...
He's like financial issues. He's like, oh, what, crashing a $50,000, $100,000 helicopter?
Totaling every aircraft you set foot in? Unfortunately, in 2015, Ford was flying one of his awesome World War II fighter planes when he experienced engine failure shortly after takeoff. And he was forced to do an emergency landing, crashing the small retro plane on a Los Angeles golf course. Leaving the scene of the crash on a stretcher, Ford kept mumbling to the first responders, "I yelled for. I yelled for."
You try to be funny.
Nah,
Okay.
I made that part up.
Oh.
All in all, Ford was lucky he only sustained a broken arm and head injuries, being that the plane he was operating was an old, small plane where crash landings were not a priority in its design.
Oh, shit.
Air experts gave Ford his flowers, praising his ability to land that exact plane on the terrain of the golf course and survive. Christian Fry of the Santa Monica Airport Association said it was absolutely beautifully executed emergency landing by an unbelievably well-trained pilot. So, is that.
I don't think I want to fucking fly anytime soon.
Yeah. So in 2017, 2 years after his last emergency crash landing, Ford nearly escaped sanction after accidentally landing his plane on a U.S. airport taxiway, narrowly missing a passenger aircraft which was carrying more than 100 people.
What? Don't let this guy fly.
Shortly after his mistake, Ford called air traffic control and apologized for his near tragedy. The Federal Aviation Administration, aka the FAA, decided against taking legal action against Ford, only requiring him to take extra training. I mean, who's going to sue Indiana Jones, you know?
I know, but that's fucked up because he probably should have had his license taken away.
Yeah. But maybe that extra training wasn't enough when Ford had another accident involving another runway. Runways. I hate runways. The FAA said he was piloting a small plane. Harrison Ford's a cat. The FAA said that he was piloting a small plane that wrongfully crossed a runway where another plane was landing. This was not as big of a deal, being that the other plane was not close enough to T-bone him. You know, it was pretty far away. But in the case that there was a malfunction stalling Ford's plane, or that if he wasn't, scolded about it, he might do it again. That he probably would have gotten T-boned and killing other people with him. Again, Ford apologized for this. So just to throw in another fun little tidbit, in 2014, when Ford was on set for the shitty newest Star Wars films, Harrison Ford was crushed by a hydraulic door in the Millennium Falcon set. The door broke his leg, and Ford had to be airlifted to the hospital. In court, it was revealed that the door could have easily killed the actor, but luckily only broke his leg after the door came down and hit him in the hip and knocked him over, and then caught his leg underneath it. So if he was an inch or two over, if it landed on his head, he would have just gotten smushed.
Broken his neck.
Yeah.
I also, it says, you didn't read the whole thing. I have the rest of it right here. It says, Harrison then demanded that he fly the helicopter to the hospital, crash landing it into the ICU, and blowing up the NICU.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew the NICU wasn't making it out alive.
Wait, I'm not done. The hospital was going to sue him, but then he said sorry, so they didn't.
The families really wanted to sue him because that he killed their loved ones, but he said sorry, so no one did. Over the years, planes and helicopter crashes have taken the lives of many celebrities, such as JFK Jr. JFK Jr. It was a really small plane that came out of a gun.
That's funny.
It was the smallest plane we ever made.
Probably the only person that every American knows how he died is like, actually, it was a plane crash. Like,
I forgot the
like
junior
the idea
part.
that a mini plane came out of the bullet.
Three of
I thought the whole family died from brain worm.
well,
Are you sure he got shot, or did he get brain worm? The worm shoot out of his head.
Yeah, the worm shot out of his head. The worm was flying the plane. But yeah, then three key members of Leonard Skinner died in a plane crash. Aaliyah, which my sister actually saw Aaliyah like 3 days before she died in her plane crash.
Whoa.
Yeah, she was in an elevator with her at a hotel. So like,
She said, "Don't get on the plane."
no. Said enjoy your flight. I don't know. John Denver.
They gave her a cat.
John Denver, Buddy Holly. That's
Stevie Ray Vaughan.
That's who was next up. Stevie Ray Vaughan, Otis Redding,
Wow.
and most recently Kobe Bean Bryant. But it seems that Harrison Ford has made peace with his inevitable death due to aircraft. But he's going to take a few of them out with him before they get him.
He's gonna do Air Force 2.
Yeah, he's getting his KD up.
You know he was in the movie Air Force 1?
Oh, yeah. Air Force 2.
Yeah, it's going to be good. It's going to be him flying it into a golf course.
Air Force 2, get turned into goo.
It's just him flying a plane into Mar-a-Lago.
So, yeah, that's the end there.
Oh, my God. Harrison.
I'm not going to lie. I thought there was at least one more plane crash before I started writing this.
I love how it started off with, like, boy lost in the woods. That's where we were going. And then it kind of diverted into, actually, Harrison Ford came and saved him. Yeah. And then it just also escalated into, here's all the time Harrison Ford has crashed an airplane or helicopter.
You know how I do it. Not well.
And then it ended with, here's everyone that died in fucking helicopter and plane crashes. Pretty good.
I didn't know how to tie it up.
It was a journey.
Yeah.
It was a journey. Where was the cat?
Where's the cat? Well, that's the thing, though. The cat
story.
was with us the whole time.
Wow.
It wasn't about the journey. It was about the cats we made on the way.
On that note, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. We really appreciate when you stick around and listen. We love telling you stories, and we love when you stick around and listen. I just fucking said that. Whatever. Who cares? Anyway, if you guys want any pictures of cats, go to Camp Strange Podcast on Instagram and follow us there. If you guys want to rate, review, subscribe, you can do that. Share it with a friend. That's great. Merch is in the link in the bio on the Instagram. And send us an email if you want at campstrangepodcast@gmail.com. We don't read them. Whatever. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, I think... What else do we got, David?
I got 3 hippopotamus teeth.
I got a bowling ball with French fries in the holes.
I got a bag of gems.
I have the people's elbow.
I got a pitchfork cooking 4 hot dogs.
Ooh,
over the fire.
I think a pitchfork has 3 prongs.
Yeah, I mean, don't.
Maybe.
You got 4 mouths to feed. You got to find a way to get that 4th on.
Am I thinking of a threek?
I think you're thinking of a threek.
We have a toque.
I've got Solomon Grundy's underwear.
I don't even know what... You're just like free associating. This is insane.
Do you not know who Solomon Grundy is?
I know he's a Batman villain, asshole. Born on a Monday. I know the whole thing. I have a sexophone. It's a big phone you have sex through.
I got a lucky dog paw keychain.
I have a guy in your trunk who has not had water in 3 days.
I got a boat with a big hole in it.
I have a toe ring.
I have a dream catcher made by white people.
I had a dream by black people.
Jesus Christ.
That was good.
I don't know if you can say that.
That was funny. That was really good though. Because like you said, I had a dream catcher made by white people, and I had a dream made by black people.
That could. The right ears hear that one. We're done for.
But that's like it. Oh my god, how am I in trouble for that? That was so fun. That was like clever. The curse the price I pay for being so creative.
Yeah, it's a curse. I got a table with one leg.
I feel like you've used that like 8 times.
I don't think so. Honestly, I think I might have said Solomon Grundy's underwear. I'm just always thinking about it.
I feel like you said that one too. That's just like, what the fuck is going on? I have a crowd full of people making that noise.
I got a box of Verizon wireless lanyards.
I have a glass trinket that fell on the ground, and now the shards are too tiny, and you thought you swept them all up, but then you're walking at night,
it's always
and
that
you
one.
step on one, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah, there's always that one.
And you're like, yeah.
I got a wicker basket full of dum-dums.
I have a candle-lit dinner for 3.
I've got a chupacabra's umbilical cord.
I have a coin that makes you farts.
I got a trash bin full of fresh grass clippings.
I have the band Len.
I've got a full family of moles, and they know Spanish.
I have a family covered in moles.
I've got Walt Disney's handgun.
Okay, you're canceled now. You can't say that. Okay, thank you guys so much. And don't forget to... Oh, wait, David, do you have anything to say before we head out?
Boy. No.
Good. Haha. And don't forget to... stay strange.